In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Because you needed more intro music.
Yes.
Welcome to another pointless automotive podcast. Your 11th favorite flavor of car media enjoyment. I'm Frank. How are you, Chadwick?
I'm Chadwick. Spoiler. Doing all right, man. How you doing tonight? I'm over my what is it? Turbo chlamydia again.
Yeah. You know, a panel of experts were like a quorum got together and came up with that diagnosis.
Yep.
Big if true. And
Right.
Because how are you with that, by the way? Because you're proudly wearing a New England Patriots hoodie.
Yes.
And
Go to the bowl.
Your
Go to the bowl.
football team is still in this mess. Unlike mine, my San Francisco 49ers,
Ooh,
who
that was rough.
lose in the playoffs yet again.
Mhm.
Although whatever, every single player was damaged. So yeah. Even Sourdough Sam, I think he blew out his I don't know, cervix, something.
Sourdough hole.
Exactly. Someone sourdoughed his Sam, but
It's a medical condition. Don't look it
yeah,
up.
yeah. So you're in good spirits, I suppose.
Getting there. Yeah. A little beer doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Doing okay.
Well, nobody could save my San Francisco 49ers. Maybe they'll come back next year. Speaking of saving,
Mhm.
we occasionally, much to the chagrin of our listeners, but benefit potentially to any C-suites with major OEMs out there. We occasionally like to take a brand, blow it off, and really just figure out a way to save it. Right? We've
Mhm.
done this with Buick, with Mitsubishi, I believe it was like Fiat.
Maybe.
You know what? So can I give a brief explanation, real quick? And this isn't a tangent, I promise. Normally this goes off in a wild tangent, but
It carries more than a hint of tangent to it already. But yeah, go for it, dude.
yeah, okay, great. So, this is what I've actually been thinking about for a little bit, and this is saving Volkswagen. Maybe the most Nazi of all automotive manufacturers, and
Uncontested.
yeah. Although
Porsche.
Porsche, Mercedes-Benz would
Yeah.
like to have a word. Still, nobody knows what they were doing in the late 30s, but Volkswagen has been interesting because I famously forget that they exist frequently on this podcast, and B, I've thought about them a fair bit because there's some of their products I really like. For instance, I have an early 2000s Volkswagen Passat live at auction on Cars and Bids right now, and it's a lovely machine. We've talked about that era of Volkswagen being peak Volkswagen. And maybe that's true, maybe that isn't, depending on where we each decide we want to go with saving Volkswagen. But I was thinking about it, A, because of our conversations about peak Volkswagen, and B, I think it's been roughly a month ago now, they said that, hey, just kidding, we can't sell the ID Buzz because we're sort of incompetent. And
Sort of.
whether the product is good or not is immaterial because we can't sell cars. So we're just going to take a year off. There's not going to be a 2026 ID Buzz, which is never a great sign for your product if you just decide you don't want to have it for an entire model year. So it got me thinking about this. And then, I mentioned to you last night, hey, we should do this as a thought exercise and a topic to save Volkswagen. And then I heard on the Carmudgeon show earlier today, after I already discussed about this as being a podcast, they were talking about some of the history of Volkswagen and the pros, what they did well then. And which is mildly annoying because it aligns with a lot about what I wanted to talk about for this episode. So now it feels like I'm cribbing from them when I'm not, damn it. So with all of that said, I forget about Volkswagen a lot. You tend not to forget about Volkswagen. Where should we start? Should we start with actually trying to figure out what the hell their current lineup is?
So I did a little research, right? And
Okay.
I knew they weren't doing well, but they're doing absolutely decidedly unwell financially right now. So their current lineup, They do have sub models, all that kind of fancy stuff. Kind of like, what is it? Buick has like 20 models effectively, but it's really not. It's three of them.
And then for some reason, like Lotus, they all start with E.
Every one
which
of them.
makes no sense.
It's ridiculous. Volkswagen, though, six vehicles in size. Let's go by size. I'll do it from appreciating mass.
Oh,
So,
boy.
Golf, you've got the Jetta.
Nope. Sorry.
What?
Golf's dead. Golf's dead, my guy. There's no
Well,
golf for
wait,
North America.
It's still on their website, effectively. The GT is
Not for 20. It's not for 26 though. It's gone for 26.
I went whatever they had on their current Volkswagen.com website, sir. They probably fired their marketing team already.
Yeah.
So you've got the Golf,
yeah.
the Jetta, the ID4, the Taos, the Tiguan, and the Atlas. That is all Volkswagen offers. I didn't say ID Buzz because we just announced that's taken. After your first year, that's especially a good point. When you take a breather after your first year, when you take a year off, that's not a good, got a good pace.
Can I add a little bit to this? Because here's the thing: when you and I are, I would consider us car people in the carosphere. We're
Fair.
certainly not journalists. We're certainly not experts beyond the obscure bullshit that we like to pretend we're experts in. But I would say we know more than the average Joe and or Blow when it comes to this sort of thing. If you and I can't sort out what new car offerings you're bringing to market as a manufacturer, that's a problem, right? Because the Golf is gone, but maybe not, but maybe. And the ID Buzz is gone, but it's still available because there's 1 million until 2025. So they might as well just be 2026s. And you didn't mention the GTI or the Golf R, which are under the Golf umbrella, but they kept those cars and then killed off the rest of the Golf.
Correct.
Again, it's a messy, messy soup.
And
then you also forgot the Atlas. God, is it called the Atlas Cross?
Or the Atlas Cross, which is just a stripped down Atlas. So that's why I generalized
it's the Atlas. They just made it slightly fastbacky, which is the
Yeah, I didn't want to get
to the
sub-model stuff is stupid. I didn't want to dig that up. But effectively, those are the base models in their lineup, and it's not good.
Any outside of we're sporty enthusiast minded folks over here, so of course we're going to say the GTI and the Golf R are compelling products. And sure, I mean for the enthusiast base, famously small and stingy, sure, yeah, they're compelling products.
Right.
Is the rest of their lineup have anything truly of a compelling offering?
So they obviously tried to, I think Dieselgate kind of forced their hand, right? They abandoned the whole diesel thing, which I think they could have done right by making it a good diesel system, but I can get how it was such a tarnished thing. They moved into electric, and the electric marketplace is just horrible right now. And they've got the ID4 and the Buzz, which is going away. The ID4 is not exciting. It's not a market leader. It's not selling very well. So I don't know. They sell Tiguans. I think that's their number one seller from what I saw. Yeah.
I think they sell a lot of Atlases.
They do. That's their second best seller behind the Tiguan, if you will.
Jettas kind of sell, but I feel like they just lease forever and then they're bought heavily discounted off lease.
Yeah.
But they're not a terribly compelling product, which is a shame because it was a compelling product for a long time.
Right. I agree.
It just kind of got every possible edge rounded off of it until it was just an anamorphous blob that nobody trusted for reliability or value or build quality.
It's straight up
sedan
in the design dictionary. You see a modern Jetta interpretation.
Bland sedan.
Yeah, and then the Taos.
I guess they have a GLI, but still nobody cares.
No one cares about a Taos either.
Nobody cares about a Taos, let alone a Sport Cross Atlas or whatever. Just maybe to be man who yells at cloud for a second. Maybe my absolute least favorite quote unquote design element or fad is get the existing product and make it slightly fast. And by product, I mean SUV. Make it slightly more fastbacky. And now it's sporty or a coupe cross over whatever or bleh. It adds nothing. It doesn't look better. And now you have a new model, and it's horseshit. So
It is horseshit.
that fat
It's
needs
all
to die.
horseshit.
That fast fad it needs to die. Um, so do you want? I mean, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how would you fix this soupy mess? Would
Dude,
you
I'm
kill everything off and just start from anew? Would you keep going the same direction, but just like change marketing and add a splash of color? Would you
Mhm.
save almost nothing, everything? I don't know. Like, what's your thought? Like, what should the new, the Volkswagen of the future? What should this be?
It's got a new attitude. Let's go. Volkswagen of the future, man.
Yeah.
First off, abandon the EV bullshit. It's not
Yep.
going anywhere. They're just sinking a ton of cash into it. I don't even know how much R&D money was poured into those their
Mhm.
minuscule offerings. They're not doing anything. Get rid of them. Um, and make it for the people again. It's kind of just it's I don't know what people want, like actively seek Volkswagen right now, right?
Mhm.
Like there's definitely brand loyalists they could tap into. So that's what I'm going to kind of play towards a little bit, like we always do, a little bit of enthusiast flavoring sprinkled
Sure.
about.
Mhm.
Just that's the way we do it. Keeps, keep the GTI. I think you can't get rid of the GTI.
When
You
when
can't.
when when you said keeps, I thought you were talking about, isn't that like a
It's
a
our
boner
first
pill company?
sponsor. Oh
Yeah,
wait, what?
I'm pretty sure that's a boner kill. I think it's that, or like
No,
maybe it's hair,
I
or is
think
it
they
hair
do
loss?
everything. I think it's one of those. It's him
Okay,
or
so you get
like
to
I
like
don't
keep
even
your
know.
hair, and you get to keep your semi-turgid erection.
Yeah, if you watch car, it's like the old car magazines. Remember the ads in the back? It was always like
Mhm.
hair loss, erections, and fucking I don't even know car covers. You're looking at those three advertisements, and it
And the
hasn't changed.
California car duster.
Yeah, it's all still the
Um,
same, dude.
boy,
So if you want to keep your hair and your boner hard, keep the GTI. I think you can't get rid of that, right? You can't. You
yes.
can't get rid of it. It's the original hot hatch, baby. And then, unfortunately, I hate to say this, the Tiguan probably
Mhm.
should stay because like mid-size small crossovers are like fucking number one awesome right now in the eyes of all buyers. And they do have an R
Mhm.
line version here, but in Europe they did have a full R Tiguan.
Okay,
So hot, spicy crossovers are kind of a big deal.
right.
So I'd say keep that, make it a little cooler than what it is. Like don't make it as shitty as it is, but make it a little cooler. Keep the R line or the
Mhm.
R, bring the R over. GTI. We're keeping those two. The rest we're gonna do a board wipe here. So I think entry level for the people, like I said before, what's the cheapest Volkswagen right now? It's probably like low 30s, right?
I
For
think
a
you can get
base
a Jetta.
Jetta.
I think you can get a base Jetta for like 25.
That cheap, really?
They're pretty cheap. Now they're
Hmm.
pretty Spartan. There's not a whole lot to it,
I'm
but
I'm actually pretty shocked
and
by
are those
that.
still the 1.4 turbo? I think they might be.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
Bring back the Rabbit,
Okay.
make it a smaller diminutive Golf. I'm thinking scale Mark III, Mark IV. Uh,
Okay.
golf size, and then even have a spicy version. We can throw a GTI badge on there or some other kind of name and throw like a cool little spicy engine in there. But I want
Okay.
this car to be affordable, like you said. I want to be low to mid 20s. I want to have it like you can even get a stripper version. You can get cloth
Okay.
seats, roll up windows, manual gearbox, and get a fun motor and just kind of bring that driving fun, the enthusiasm back to like an affordable hot hatch. And I
Interesting.
think if you park a modern Golf
Hmm.
next to like a Mark II Golf GTI, the size difference is insane.
Sure.
Like how much it's
Yeah.
ballooned up. So
I mean,
bring
that's kind
back
of everything, but yeah.
yeah, and you can make a cool new like modern looking rabbit or retro looking rabbit badge. Do whatever you want. It could be a lot of fun. There's a little bit of name cachet with the rabbit brand,
Sure.
right?
Hmm.
I think that'd be kind of
Plus,
fun.
imagine the partnerships that are available with like marital aid companies with the rabbit.
Mm, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, the cock ring edition, it could be pretty good.
No, that's Audi. You'd have the rings.
Four of them together.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did we get them stuck? uh,
We're linked as one. Um,
it's almost human centipede.
yeah, sort of.
The next thing we're gonna move on. So I'd say bring back the rabbit.
Okay.
That'd be a fun little
So you
exercise.
have a rabbit, you have a GTI,
Hmm.
you have a tiger iguana.
You have the tiger iguana. I want to
Mhm.
keep the Jetta, but I want to make it weird again because to me, the
Okay.
Jetta. the Jetta was always interesting, right? You think back the first two generations,
Hmm.
especially, it was a weird looking car when you see one driving around. The dimensions are weird. Like the hood is like so much lower than the trunk, and the like. It's just it's a weird car
Yeah.
from a design standpoint. So I want to make it weird again. Um, I think it was what 99.5. Is that when that Mark IV came out? And that was
Uh-huh.
I still think that car looks incredibly awesome with a little bit of fender flares, just the
Sure.
way I don't know. That thing's just brilliant.
Hmm.
Make it kind of cool like that again, because now it just looks
Okay.
like an A4.
So like a retro callback, but not retro callback to like the late 70s or like the Mark One or Mark Two Jetta. You're talking like a neo retro sort of where you're
Right.
calling back to the early 2000s.
Right, which I think is a way better look than what we got now. Now it really looks like a watered down A4
Yeah,
now, right? Like that's how I describe it. But I say
kind
we do
of.
that. I
Although isn't
say
the A4 dead?
yeah, the A4
Whatever.
is, but
Um,
eventually they did share a platform for the longest time though,
yeah,
right?
they did. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's still that. That's probably why they killed the A4 because they can just
Hmm.
soldier on the Jetta. I say we keep that retro kind of cool look, make it look a lot different. Like it needs to not look like everything else on the market, which Volkswagen did for so long with their entire lineup. Now,
Hmm.
like an Atlas doesn't stand out. A Tiguan looks like every other crossover. So
Sure.
it's they need to get that back. That's the bottom line in all this. But I think with that we can bring back the GLI, up the handling, keep it more like GT on the level of the GTI. I think that's a
Yeah.
lot of fun to do with their cheap little sedan. Um, this is the wildest thing I did was I wanted to keep the
Carolyn.
Atlas but
Oh,
change it
okay.
and kind of make it look like an old retro bus. Like I don't know how we do
Okay.
it. Maybe a lifted off-roading. I don't know, man. I
So
was
basically, the ID buzz is going away, and it will be supplanted by a gas crossover platform shared bus creation.
it could be, yeah, it could be a large lifted bus looking thing. I don't know. I think they could do something with that. The
What if you make it
Atlas,
super boxy and call it the thing?
ooh,
I don't know.
that's not a bad one. I didn't settle on the name. I don't like the Atlas. I don't know if you've ever spent any time with them. They're just kind of
They're
like
deeply mediocre. I
it's
mean, I
just
think they're
vanilla.
fine.
Yeah, it's a
I mean, that's
vanilla
that's
large
current
SUV.
Volkswagen outside of
Hmm.
GTI and Golf R and ID Buzz.
Right?
Outside of those three, the rest of it is like utterly uninspired and bland.
So on that one, I will figure it fucking out. I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet. But I kind of want to do something weird, like totally interesting, because I think they
Hmm.
want to keep a large vehicle. I think every OEM needs to offer a large three-row SUV in this market.
Sure.
So I think that might be the way you get there. And then my final one, which is probably the biggest stretchy stretch of all time, the Volkswagen Bug comes
Okay.
back. We've got
Okay.
a new Beetle,
Are they going to
except
call it the new Beetle?
it's no, it's going to be rear wheel drive, rear
Okay.
engine.
Okay.
So harkening back to that, uh, I want to make a Turbo S that's a proper like Porsche competitor. I think that would be kind of fun, like a
Interesting.
budget. Because now if you go spicy motor in the back, rear wheel drive, you're kind of
Hmm.
getting a little bit of that flavor, right?
Sure.
Um, but I do think you could make a cheap one. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't think they'll ever do anything like that. It's just the
No, it could
packaging
be cool.
exercise.
Like if it was like the flat four from the Cayman,
Yeah.
but like detuned, and despicified and just slapped in the back.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it, is just kind of bringing some interesting heritage stuff back and tweaking the brand. Because honestly, when I looked at Volkswagen's webpage, which I don't
Hmm.
look at modern Volkswagen. I called up the page and thumbing through everything. I'm like, this is shit. This is all complete bland bullshit. And so my final asterisk though was
Hmm.
bring back the VR6.
Ooh,
Bring
okay.
back something fun like that because
Hmm.
last time they used it was like in an Atlas in 2023. I
Sure.
looked it up and I'm like, well, what a way to go out for an absolutely icon of an engine. So bring that back. I don't know, man. They had such unique engines, they had such unique looking cars, and now it's just checking boxes.
Sure.
So
I like that
that's
thought. I might chew on that a little bit because I hadn't specifically thought about the VR6, but I think there is a compelling way to do it and have it actually function. Like
mhm.
not just like dust off the old 12 valve VR6 and
No, re-engineer it.
sure.
Keep the form factor, keep the efficiency, make it obviously it'll be more powerful. And I always thought it was cool because there were so many generations and different displacements of VR6 motors. They were all kind of special. So that's all I got, man. Like honestly, like they need to do something, at this point. But I laid it out, Volkswagen, laid it out for you.
All right. Are you listening, Volkswagen? So, it's interesting because I think we kind of made a lot of the same moves, but maybe like we got there from different viewpoints and perspectives.
Mm.
Um, and because so part of me thinking about this and what led me to think about this as a topic was kicked it off was the failing of the ID buzz. Because I'm
Mm.
willing to bet for the extreme majority of people that would consider it an ID buzz,
Hmm.
the reason they didn't buy it was not because of the styling, right?
No.
Everyone loves the way that thing looks. They're cool. Maybe for some people it's like, oh, it's a little too like attention grabbing. So I'm gonna get a Sienna instead, which is the problem with that is like
Yeah.
minivan buyer isn't usually the most like attention seeking bunch.
Right.
And so I think that's part of the problem with that van. But I think the reason ultimately it's taking a 1 year hiatus is because anyone who is looking to get a minivan, you know, no matter how cool it might be, realistically, they're not going over 200 miles in a day. But in their mind, they absolutely might have a chance to take their kids, little
Hmm.
Johnny to soccer practice, and little Susie to underwater basket weaving academy, and back and forth and all around town. And a range under 300 miles is an utter non-starter, even though they would probably be fine. And so I think the fact that that thing does not have at least 325 miles of range is the number one, and it's not close, reason why that is not selling and has to
True.
disappear from the marketplace for a while. Um, so that led me to two different things. First off, I think I actually like the ID Buzz. I think it should be a compelling product if it wasn't
Mm.
for the range fuck up. So step one, fix that, right?
Hmm.
Just have it take a year off, have it come back in 2027 with 300 and something miles of range. Like otherwise, don't even bring it back. What's the point? You're just gonna bring it back to not just continue to not sell them.
Lose this number, Volkswagen.
So it's got to come back with at least another 100 miles of range.
Fair.
Um, to be clear, I don't actually think the buyers of those cars have to have that range, but they think they have to have that range, and therefore it's not selling.
Hmm.
Um, but why I think that is a compelling and good thing, it's actually an interesting and compelling product that is like a little bit of like a counterculture type of product compared to the rest of the market.
Mm.
And that is what Volkswagen does best. That's what the Beetle and the Squareback and the original Transporter, and even to a lesser extent, like the original like A1 chassis, Volkswagen Rabbit and Caddy and Fastback and all of that shit. It was like
Mm.
a very different offering. It stood apart from everything else in the market. In current Volkswagen, outside of the ID Buzz, and you can argue the GTI and Golf R to a certain extent, although those aren't
Mm.
super flashy and like overly styled and counterculture. They're very competent, but there's just not a lot of hot hatches. So I guess I'll give it to them. The rest of their lineup is like the definition of milk toast, which Volkswagen can never compete in. If you want something that's milk toast, you're buying a Toyota, you're buying a Honda.
Right.
It's
Great.
going to be more reliable. It's going to maintain its value.
Yeah.
And the enshittification of something like that $25,000 Jetta I was talking about, they're not nicer. They're not built as well as the comparable Toyota or even Nissan to a certain extent.
Yeah. Great
Um,
Helmet song, by the way. Milk Toast. Great
ooh,
underappreciated
wow.
song by
Okay.
Helmet.
All right.
Um,
Good call. Good pull. I'm not aware of Helmet. I gotta give him a listen.
oh, good Lord.
Really?
So
Darth Helmet?
yeah, should know this, man. Yeah, but that price point today is pretty impressive, right? Like 25K.
Sure.
I'm actually quite shocked that it's not 30K.
Yeah. But I'm buying a Corolla or a Civic.
Every time.
Yeah.
No brainer, right?
Right. If for no other reason than the resale value alone. So that's what they have to go back to doing, is being the risk taker in the culture, more the culture, the counterculture point, because I don't want
Hmm.
to just recycle my point that I made with Nissan, because they have to take risks because they have no other choice. Volkswagen needs to be, think different. They need to be the counterculture thing. And so how to lead this is, again, I think we're going to end up trotting over some of the same points,
Hmm.
but a little different. I think the ID Buzz comes back after a year with another 100 miles of range. Great. Um, I'm not abandoning the EV, all the money and developmental costs and everything that went into this EV stuff. So I'm not completely scrapping the idea of a Volkswagen EVs. That said, the ID4 is trash and needs to go away. It's not competitive. Either vastly over rework that whole thing and give a little bit of an edge in some form, but rename it, because the ID4, I don't care. Like, it's just not an interesting name. It's not an interesting car. If you want to nuke it from orbit and then reshape something out of its ashes, then so be it. But I don't want to burn mental capacity on that.
The ID5 rises from the ashes. Oh,
ID
okay.
4.1.
We don't deserve this.
Yeah, like Windows 3.1. Um, am I still here?
You are
Okay.
staring.
I'm frozen on my screen.
You're
So
absolutely frozen.
fantastic. Okay. Should we just
Tune
roll with?
in, tune in next week when Frank
Yeah,
pays his internet bill.
exactly. Well, we'll just let it ride. As long as you can hear me, and then maybe I'll like snap into reanimation.
Yeah, don't take your pants off like last time. You get lulled into
Yeah,
a false sense of security and take your
yeah,
pants
exactly. And I'm just like nude handstanding. Um, I do not advocate nude handstands. I do advocate that Volkswagen does bring back the Beetle. And the Volkswagen Beetle comes back. Hear me out.
off. Okay.
As an EV.
Yeah, we got to go. Bye.
So no. Okay. So here's the thing. The original.
I don't like Frozen Frank and his attitude towards EVs.
It's
Let's
going.
go.
Here's the thing. It's going to be what there isn't in the market,
Mhm.
which is an actual good $30,000 or less EV product.
Mm.
The original Volkswagen Beetle was largely a city car, suburban car, that was as bare bones as can be, was cheap to run in all capacities.
Mm.
Inexpensive. It was the people's car, right? And you can have a people's EV. No one has bothered to even try. There's like the Slate truck thing, but that's such a limited use case. It doesn't come with infotainment or anything, which I'm okay with.
Hmm.
And I think the Beetle could be that. I think if you had this
Ooh.
stupid ass 200-mile range in the ID Buzz, it doesn't belong in that product. It doesn't belong in the haul all the kids all around all the town. It belongs in the basic, inexpensive, cheap and easy to run, simple, bare bones city car. That's where that mile range. So if you have, and there's a bunch of people like friend of the pod, Art, of Radwood fame. He and DWA fame. He has an e-golf. I
Hmm.
know many people that have had or have e-golfs. Um, and they like them. They're great. Like, that's that similar level of power, rear drive. You have a frunk. Like, it needs to be like the Beetle. Like, I
Mm.
want it to be, I want it to be retro styled, and I want it to be basic, bright colors, steel, at least steel look wheels, if not actual steel wheels with a polished cap. Bring the
Mm.
vase back. Um, I mean, and I want like base model, $25,000, hand crank windows. Like I want it to really harken back and be the people's EV because there isn't one. The closest thing is
True.
a Model 3, and that's not approachable if you just want a basic car. And although
Hmm.
there's political implications with buying a Model 3, um, which is ironic that I'm saying that the Nazi people's car should be the antithesis to that. But I think there's really a niche there, a small, barely usable back seat. Have it be the recipe of the original Beetle, where it's
Hmm.
different than anything else in the market. It's cheap. I think there's an opportunity there, and just like I think it will add huge cachet to the brand. Um, do you hate it? What's your thought on the Beetle, EV Beetle? Because I suspect that you would hate it. That was my thought, but I
I
think
mean,
I
it
think
won't
it's got a
work.
shot.
It
I
won't
think it
work.
could.
I like the idea. I mean, electrification for the masses just wasn't thought out. But I like the idea of it being
Sure.
cheap. I like the bright color aspect of it.
Hmm.
Rear engine would be super cool. Like just
Yeah.
the fun of having a frunk. I think that could be done. The e-Golf is fun. I was an early adopter of cheap electric cars. I bought a 2014 Focus Electric when those
Ooh.
came out. I because there were so many rebates, it was stupid not
Sure.
to. And I rocked one of those for a while. That was a pretty cool little car. It was probably on par with the e-Golf for like range and like
Yeah.
that kind of use case. And those are cool. Definitely like a kind of like a city town car. You couldn't take it on a long road trip. Back then it was like I want to say like an 80-mile range
That's
tops.
about right.
They
Yeah.
all were, right? Like the 500e Fiat was like a
Hmm.
40, and then the Leaf
The
eventually got
Leaf
down
was
to
like
10.
72. Yeah, and then you put 10,000 miles on it and the battery
Yeah.
stewed in its own juices and it got no range. I
Mhm.
think an e-Golf was what, like 112,
No, not at
108, something
first.
like
I
that.
think they were all the same. They were all benchmarked together. I think they were all around that
Yeah.
80, 84, 70
Yeah.
something, whatever.
But if you can be
Uh,
180, 200,
yeah.
um, just simple like just single motor, rear drive, basic, but like cutesy and like bolted together reasonably. I think it could be a compelling
Pretty
option. And it's
cool.
just like a great advertisement for Volkswagen. Because right now, like, I don't know anyone that like isn't a car person and just sees like the silhouette of a modern Volkswagen goes, oh yeah, that's definitely a Volkswagen. When
Absolutely.
Volkswagen in the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, like you see the silhouette, you see a Volkswagen, you knew what it was. And those days are dead. Um, I do want to, I actually had the exact same thought as you on the Jetta of
Mm.
I want it to be early 2000s neo retro.
God, it was so good.
Um, because that would be new, right? I think it's silly that like you have manufacturers like Hyundai is like taking the biggest styling chances with like
Yep.
stuff like this, the Santa Fe and the Santa Cruz and the new Santa Fe's got like the dog bone taillights and like some of this like and the Elantra is like kind of wildly styled. Like I don't that used to be Volkswagen's thing. Maybe not wild, but either handsome or like at least daring.
Yeah.
The only addition to the Jetta that I want to see, in addition to just like simply being restyled into something, neo retro, I want a Caddy. I want them to bring back a Volkswagen Caddy. I want a
Oh.
two-seat Ute, um, based on the Jetta, right?
Mm.
It doesn't have to tow. It doesn't have to haul 2,000 pounds.
So similar to like a Santa Cruz, effectively, right?
Right, but
Smaller.
much smaller. I want it
Hmm.
to occupy no more than
Wall
6 inches
Street.
longer than.
Oh,
Yes, also occupy Wall Street. Um, Boy, a lot of good that did.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and
Showed them.
yeah, exactly. Hold on, let me go pay my mortgage. But no, yeah, and just have like a Ute because there's no real compact trucks. They're
Yeah,
long
good
dead, and
call.
we bitched about that for a long time. I think there's a space in the market because even something like the Santa Cruz, that bed's completely unusable. And I
Mhm.
know, trying to sell a two-seater is tough, but I think it could be cool in addition
Yeah.
to practical, right? Just more bed than passenger compartment. Um, and
Hell
that would
yeah.
probably fail, but I would like to see it fail. I do think you keep the Tiguan, you
Mhm.
restyle it. You have to get rid of the freaking Tiguan name. Nobody likes the tiger iguana. It does nothing for anybody.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if there's anything, I don't know. Call it the Quantum. Nobody remembers the Quantum. It's an okay name. I don't know. Just don't call it anything other than the tiger iguana. It would
Mhm.
be wonderful. Um, and then yeah, restyle the Atlas. I think you have to have it there. It needs to be more daring. It needs to be. I don't know if you make it more rugged or not. I think you bring back the Toreg name, although I don't hate
Oof.
the Atlas name, and Toreg is shitty to pronounce and spell. So maybe you just keep it the Atlas, but butch it up a little bit, right? Boy, I do think you keep the GTI and the R. I like your thought on the Rabbit.
Mm.
Um, but I have to imagine there's a reason why they pulled the standard base Golf out of the market. Maybe you do a little retro style on that, right? Like you take some play from the styling cues of the doesn't exist yet Rivian R3,
Mm.
which
Okay.
is more of the kind of boxy, little bit of ground clearance upright. You don't have to have the ground clearance, but a little of that Delta Integrale
Mm.
Mark One style could be fun. The only other I also like your concept of bringing the VR6 back. I hadn't really thought about that, but I can see that coming back if you wanted to make a bit of a I'm trying to think. It would have to be high style, like a high style sports coupe. So fill the void where the two-door GTI used to be and have it be more competitive with something like the GT86 or whatever we're calling it nowadays.
GR.
Um and the which I understand it's not a money maker, but again, um I let the renamed Tiger Iguana and the Atlas be your money makers,
Mm.
and you got to get a little bit more pizzazz in the brand. I would bring back the Corrado with
I knew you were
a
going. I knew you
and
were
have
going
like
there.
90s,
Yeah.
90s ish retro coupe styling. Probably feels about the same size as a GTI, but with two
Mm.
doors and swoopier, and much like the Corrado was swoopier than a two-door GTI was at the time. And yeah, just a modern VR6, not big power, call it whatever, 300 horsepower.
It's good.
Um, I think that could be a good time. Let it be front wheel drive. That's fine.
Sure.
Give it a Manuel, and yeah, I think that could be really a good time. But that's it. They need to be the counterculture uh, offering that they once were, because that was the only time they've ever been relevant. Anytime they've always tried to slink into the mainstream, it just failed miserably.
Yeah, we took different paths. We arrived at almost the same clearing, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, Volkswagen needs to find their weird again, man.
Hmm.
Stand out because they do not do that now, and financially they're not super viable. And I don't know anyone that's like hardcore modern VW, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have the fan base it used to have. So it's interesting.
And if they are, it's just like for the Golf R
Yeah,
or
fair.
maybe
Yeah, or
GTI,
GTI. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's not for the brand. It's like in spite of the brand almost.
Bro, whatever, dude. ID4 clan is coming to town.
Yeah, right.
No one cares about that fucking thing. No
Yeah,
one
no,
cares.
not at all. Um, very good. Well, um, how should we proceed,
Well,
sir?
first we'll say you're welcome to Volkswagen. Feel free to
Yes,
use
of
as
course.
much of
Of
that
course.
as you'd like. Um, Maybe we should do a little automotive Perdad quiz game show.
Oh boy. Okay. I
You
wish
guys
you
could do
could
that.
see my visible excitement on my face, but I'm
I mean,
frozen in carbonite
yeah, it's
on
so,
my
it's
on
so
my
weird.
screen here.
I'm talking to the image of Frank, like
I know. I'm
it's like a
looking.
memory.
It could have been a worse freeze frame, honestly.
It's not horrible,
It's not
right?
disastrously unflattering. Although
I'm
you can
working
really
with
see
it right now.
the gray coming out of my beard. Okay. Anyways, so how about this? You tell the good people at home what the hell we're doing. Oh, also, by the way, do you have a new game behind you? I
Oh
didn't see
yeah,
the video game.
we
We
skipped
didn't
over our
touch on it.
retro video game, a Dreamcast classic, if you will. This is the original Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi.
Such a fun game. Absolute icon of the Sega Dreamcast age. Sega Dreamcast launched on
11.
9/9/99.
Oh boy.
What an under celebrated system, but that's a super fun game if you've never played it. Super arcadey, super fun, but yeah, retro car game. Good call out, man. Good call out.
All right. So you want to tell the good people what the hell we're up to
That too.
while I read this here ad?
This segment, also not sponsored, is our automotive print ad quiz game show where we go through a periodical, usually a magazine from the 80s, 90s, mid 2000s. We're going to read that article. Frank's going to try to read today. I have to guess what vehicle he's describing. He's going to omit anything that obviously gives it away. I have 3 guesses to figure out what kind of car he's yammering on about. If I fail, I do have lifelines. I can ask for help. 10 minutes will be on the clock to prevent me from going for like 30 minutes, which I think some of our historic episodes might have done that. But dude, I think I'm ready, Frank. Go ahead and unleash the beast.
Okay. So this is a single page ad. There's 2 images of the vehicle. The first one is like, the front quarter image. However, the vehicle's in motion and we're floating like kind of above it a little bit. I'm modeling with my hands, but you can't see.
Can't see shit.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's driving. It's like a rolling image. And then below, we've got like an image of the vehicle kind of still and looking like through the driver's window, almost like a very tall police officer walking up on the vehicle. And then it says recharged for blank, and blank being the model year of the vehicle.
Okay.
It then says the new blank. Get ready for the ultimate driving experience. The blank, charged with more performance than ever before. Beneath the hood beats a new, even more responsive 2.8-liter, 6-cylinder single overhead cam engine with EFI (parentheses electronic fuel injection). Mated to this impressive power play is an incredibly crisp, precise 5-speed manual overdrive transmission. Or you can order Blank's innovative 4-speed automatic overdrive unit. And for sure stops, power-assisted 4-wheel disc brakes are standard. Naturally, a sports machine of this caliber should accommodate true driving enthusiasts. That's why the Blank offers an optional sports performance package: sport suspension, sure-footed 195 70 SR14 steel-belted radial tires, front air dam, rear airfoil. This package virtually glues Blank to the road. Inside, Blank surrounds you with an infinite array of exceptional luxury appointments: electronic AM, FM, MPX stereo radio, power steering, tilt wheel, air conditioning, and more. The Blank. Recharged for Blank. Luxury never performed like this before. Feel it. That's the ad, my friend.
Recharged. The ultimate driving machine, huh?
That's what they say. No, that's not what they say. It says get ready for the ultimate driving experience.
Okay. I immediately went to BMW land. That is flirting with a tagline that's been around for quite a while. Didn't read like it backs me up for that, not reading at all like a BMW ad. So what do we have? Let's go over the facts, shall we?
Sure.
Just the facts. 2.8. I don't think it said coupe or sedan. I don't think I got a door count on that one.
It did not mention doors. Luxury sports, a sports machine is what it calls itself.
Weird. Um, so
Pre
2.8
appointments. 2.8 single overhead cam injected. Electronic
injected
injection specifically.
EFI.
Yeah,
Um,
big deal.
that is a big deal. That is a big deal. Some old guys will say that's a shitty deal, but we know
They'd be
what's
wrong.
up. They would be. They'd be wrong.
I mean, carbs can be fun, but it's
Carbs
better
can
than
be fucking
mechanical fuel
super fun.
injection.
Way better than early shit like TBI and stuff. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. I love my TBI cars. Don't fuck me up, Blazer. And Tracker. God, they're both
Yeah.
TBI. Shit. Shit. Um, what do we got, man? 2.8. I don't think it said what wheels were driven.
No.
Fuck Frank.
Do I have to?
Someone should.
Somebody should, I suppose.
2.8. Don't know what wheels are driven. Don't know a door count. It mentioned MTX audio. Picked up on that. Don't know why. There's not a lot of meat on this bone to chew, my friend. There really isn't. I don't, dude. I don't even know where to go with this. 2.8s. It doesn't sound like a GM. I don't think it's a Passat like you're selling right now. I mean, it could be. Could it be? EFI. They didn't even give the specific EFI name. Can
I mean,
we?
would they be calling out EFI in the early 2000s?
Uh, Daewoo would.
Fair.
Let's go. What had a 2.8? Yeah, Audi they had a 2.8 for the longest time in the 90s. But they would be definitely there. God, they dropped Quattro in there somewhere. Other 2.8s, GM, but this does not sound like a GM ad, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fuck it. Chevy Beretta, 1990 fucking 5. Final answer.
Oh boy, this is not a 1990 anything Chevy Beretta.
Perfect. Am I in the right country?
You are not in the right country of origin, my friend.
God damn it. All right. Let's get this movable feast
Beneath
underway.
the Hood beats a new, even more responsive 2.8 liter 6-cylinder single overhead cam engine with electronic fuel injection.
What the fuck was wrong with the other 2.8 to make this one so exciting? Okay. I got nothing still, man. I'll be brutally honest with you. 2.8 EFI were probably early 90s, late 80s, depending on what it is. Under the Hood beats. And it's a fresh 2.8. God, don't get mixed up with that old one.
5-speed manual, possible 4-speed auto, overdrive.
See, 5-speed manual makes me think it's more late 80s.
4-wheel disc brakes as standard.
That's pretty cool.
Steel belted radial tires on 14-inch wheels.
That's definitely mid 80s.
And that comes with the sports suspension pack or the sports performance package.
Dude, it's not a domestic, so it's not an American automaker.
It's not domestic.
2.8. Steel belted. God, it doesn't sound, and I can't think of anything. 2.8.
Luxury never performed like this before. Feel it.
Jesus Christ. And luxury never means luxury in these things. God, dude, I don't.
Would it do anything for you if I said the car was two-tone in the image?
Does not.
Okay.
Does not.
Well, it's almost tritone, but like two of the tones are the same color, so it's just two-tone, I suppose.
And it doesn't say anything about the drive wheels would help, maybe door count Or maybe this is way easier than I'm making it, but I don't think
It
it
doesn't
is.
say either of those in the ad.
I just can't think of it could be a lot of things, right? Like I kind of
Sure.
it's a V6 though. It did say
No.
V6. Oh.
Beneath the hood beats a new, even more responsive 2.8 liter six-cylinder single overhead cam engine with EFI.
Hmm. Have we done this car?
Mm.
Is this a
I didn't see it on the list.
is
That's
it
what I
a
can say.
Nissan 280ZX? Final answer?
It is not
Okay.
a Nissan 280ZX. Um, you are in the right country of origin.
Hmm. I'm gonna need a little more than that, Doc.
Um, it I would say it certainly considered itself a competitor to the 280ZX. Whether it was or wasn't, whether it pulled that off successfully or not is a matter for probably period reviews. Feel it.
I know. So I don't think it's a Nissan because he's just said potentially a competitor to the 280. So
Yeah, they rarely try and compete with themselves. I mean, happens.
I just can I so multiple colors. That's why I went with
Hmm.
280 because they did have an interesting color palette.
Yeah.
Uh
I'll tell you. So the vehicle in the ad is a silver and black two-tone with a maroon interior.
that sounds just like 1985 Japan to me. I'll be brutally honest with you. Dude, I don't even know. I mean, it could.
Hmm.
No, it wouldn't be that.
Super compelling audio
Yeah,
experience
this is
for
rough, dude.
people at home, and they're listening to this shit while they're driving to their house,
Our
or
next quiz
maybe
game will
they
be
are.
we just name engine displacements, and you have to think of the car.
Oh God! Hey,
Is
you got more than that on this. You got a 5-speed. You got four-wheel disc brakes. You got the performance package. You got a rear air foil, a front air dam. Virtually glues blank to the road, grounded to the ground, if you will.
is this?
Is it?
Dude, I don't know anything anymore. Is a 2.8 could
Hmm.
be a competitor to a 280ZX. That's tripping me up. Is this could be Toyota had a couple 2.8s,
Sure.
and that would make sense with inline, but now I it can't be a Supra. We've done those a million times. Celica Supras. I wouldn't say a Cressida is a competitor. I don't know if the 2.8 was in the Cressida. I think it was actually. Um,
I
pro
will say this particular car, this is a 1 year only offering for this motor.
Really?
The prior year, the prior years
Hmm.
were a 2.6. For this 1 year, it got the 2.8. And then for the following year after, it was a new generation.
They went up to like what, 3 liter or
It maintained a 2.8, but it was a different
okay.
motor
It made it sound in this
and an
ad like the
entirely
2.8
different
got better.
generation.
Um,
It did well compared to the 2.6.
mm, God, now I even want to say
It
Nissan
gained a
again.
whole, I think it gained a whole, if I remember correctly, I think it gained like a whole like 4 horsepower or something from the 2.6 to the 2.8. So they're very much hyping up this refresh, which didn't really do a whole lot. But it's a 1 year only.
I just don't know. I'm not thinking Honda. I think it's got Honda really didn't have any rear drive sports cars that would compete with like a 280ZX.
I will give you that. It is rear drive.
It is, yeah. So that's Honda's out. Acura doesn't exist. Uh, God, it can't. Could it be? Could it be a fuck? Could it be a Toyota Supra?
You got a year for me?
84. Final answer.
You are painfully close. This is. Oh, let me get the exact verbiage from the ad here.
How have we not done this car?
Well, here's the thing. We have indeed already done
A few
a
Supras.
1984 Toyota Supra.
Mm-hmm.
We have not done this, which is recharged for 81.
Oh,
Get ready for the ultimate driving experience. The 1981 Toyota Celica Supra, charged with more performance than ever before. So this is the Mark 1.
I even said Celica Supra. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I swear to God, we had done this already.
We did the Mark II. I thought we did as well, but I went through the list and it is not on there. The Mark II is, but the Mark I is not there. So 79 and 80 had the 4ME, which was a 2.6 inline six.
Mm-hmm.
They then 81 only got the 5ME, which bumped it to a 2.8, and then the Gen 2, which is the one I've had a bunch of.
2.8s.
The Mark II, I should say. Yeah, had the 2.8, but dual overhead cam. That was a 5M GE motor.
I completely put Supras out of my mind at the beginning of that and I do that often when I think we've already done a car. I already rule
I do
it
that
out.
too.
Yeah, dude, what a vicious cycle.
I just sent you the ad.
We kind of got there, right? We got the right vehicle.
And I owned an exact clone of this one in the ad. It was an 81 performance package car.
Okay, this is a cool ad. That is a cool ad.
Yeah, it's sick.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
And I thought I kept saying the feel it part because that's a bite into their own tagline of like the what a feeling from the early 80s. And
hey,
late 70s
280
Toyota.
ZX wasn't a horrible.
No, I mean
startup.
that's like the natural, and that was the competitor to this, but it was honestly a much more competent car than these Mark I Supras are, and I've owned two of them. They're kind of garbage. Even in like the one I had, like the performance package with the 5-speed and all the bells and whistles, the best one you can get. Maybe the most understeer car I've ever driven outside of a school bus, and I've never driven a school bus. So
pretty dope for 81, a 5-speed manual and a single overhead cam engine. That's pretty cool.
4-wheel discs and
actually,
no EFI. I mean, they're cool. I want another one for sure. I'd love another Mark I. They're not a good car. They're a bad car.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's why I want one. So yes, this is the 1981 Toyota Celica Supra.
Very nice.
Old Mark I. How do we not celebrate, my friend?
PCP, as always. Project Car Progress. Have you been imbibing in the PCP, my friend?
A little bit. God. Okay. So, Operation Free, almost free. There's nothing free in life. But the nearly free Triumph Spitfire.
Mm-hmm.
Its auction went and it has ended, and we missed. We would have had a better update last week, but I was in car week and you had turbo chlamydia, so we unfortunately skipped that week. But we had the auction ended. Did you happen to see what the auction ended?
I did not see. I have been not just the chlamydia keeping me down. I've been extremely busy, but
yes.
Did it do well?
It did better than I thought. So here's the deal. For the uninitiated, 1977 Triumph Spitfire that friend of the pod, Mr. Robert Epley, gave to me because he didn't want it. And so I said, okay, let's get it smogged. Let's get it a title. We're going to run it no reserve, and it's going to do what it's going to do. I thought all the money in the world on it was $3,500. Mm-hmm. It sold for $4,300,
not
which
bad.
is great. It fought me all the way to the end. So the ignition switch got extra wonky on it, and it just got a huge dead spot in it. So it's like really hard to start, especially when it's cold because it's carbureted. And then with like 3 hours left in the auction, It decided it didn't want to maintain idle without the choke at least halfway on.
Oh no.
So I did like emergency diagnosis, and I found that there is an EGR. There's an EGR tube that goes between, the EGR valve and the intake manifold,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a U bend in it, but it's not like a metal pipe. It's like a flex section, but it's not flex pipe like metal flex piping. It's shitty 70s, just rubber, and then wrapped in like heat wrap.
Oh boy.
And that's how it is from the factory. It's like a woven heat wrap on top of a rubber, because that was their solution back in the 70s. And so because I was running, I said, God, it just wouldn't, unless I gave it like half throttle, or not throttle, choke, it wouldn't want to maintain idle. So I have to have choke on halfway, but then it brings the idle, and now I'm idling at like 1500 RPM, which is like not where you want to idle.
Yeah.
But anything under that, it'd be choppy and shitty. So it'd get more fuel with the choke, but it'd bring the idle up. I was like, all right, it just feels like a fucking vacuum leak. Because when I had the choke there, if I punch it, it wasn't falling on its face like it was cold. I had put a thermostat in it that morning because I thought it was just like it wasn't getting the operating temp. So I pulled the old thermostat. I had a 160-degree thermostat in it for God knows why. It's supposed to be 195. So I spent the $8, put a 195.
There's some overheating problems you're going to find out pretty soon.
Well, no, it goes right to now. It just warms up a couple minutes. It's right at operating temp. Everything's great, but it won't fucking maintain idle. So I'm searching for vacuum leaks, and I hit that wrap with carb cleaner, and the idle flares up. I was like, you motherfucker. The rubber under that, which you can't see because of the wrapping, is like deteriorated. And so it's sucking unmetered air, which is why you got to have the choke on to fatten up the mix to compensate for all this unmetered air it's pulling in.
Yep.
So I shoot a video of it, I upload it, and I add it to my auction with like 40 minutes left. I'm like, hey guys, like this is what's up. Like, you can drive it like this, certainly get it on and off a transport truck. It's a simple fix. I can't fix it in 40 minutes. Like, it's just not going to happen. So please bid accordingly. And it still went for $4,300. So it's going out to New York. The guy started the process, but it's still here. So I'm not completely counting my eggs completely hatched until it rolls off on a truck and I can kind of wash my hands of it. But yeah, good result for
nice.
a charming but not good car in the shit fire. I mean, it's a good tinkerer project. Like it's got good bones, as I say. It's not rotted out. It's a California thing. Someone's gonna have fun with it. But they're just dreadful machines.
Yeah, agreed. Nice.
How about you? You wrench on anything?
So a little bit. The GeoTracker instrument cluster drama continues. So
oh boy,
remember last time I was talking, probably a little while ago, I was talking about how I bought a cluster and someone intentionally hid like taking out all the speedometer and odometer components.
Tight.
That's a real nice thing to do, right? So what was cool though is I got a full refund through eBay. The guy actually gave me the full refund for that gauge cluster, which never happens from like.
Did you mail it back or just like fucking keep it?
He's like, just fucking keep it, because I sent pictures. I always send pictures. Like a picture like tells a story, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, under this tape in the back, all the gears are missing for the odometer cluster. He's like, oh shit, I'm sorry, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So the thing is, like, now I'm high and dry because you can't find these things, right?
Sure.
So, dude, I sourced one popped up, 85,000 miles on it. So low mileage, which is killer. I'm like, God, must buy now. So I purchased the thing. It looks okay. It says it works and everything. Get it to the house. Dude, the way they transported this thing, they wrapped like 2 newspapers around it and threw it in a big oversized box.
Sick.
And this is an instrument cluster. So the plastic got a split right down the middle on the front, like the clear plastic. I'm like, son of a bitch, guys, come the fuck on. So luckily I have that other cluster that was actually super clean, right? So, but you know how that job goes, trying to separate that clear like gauge cluster face.
Yeah, it's like playing Operation, just trying to like not damage things.
Yeah, with like GM plastic from the 80s and 90s. Not the best time of my life, but I was able to get it. And dude, every one of those tabs feels like it's not just releasing, it's like breaking. You're like snap, and you're going around, you're like fuck me. And like the thing is, if it breaks, it ruins that. Like I said, the cluster's super sensitive underneath. It like ruins the whole gauge face. Game over. Anyway, I switched that over, get it in the truck. success. I had to replace almost all the bulbs too, which is
Sure.
another thing.
It's annoying,
But
yeah.
got it in there. I've done it like 3 trips with it so far, and it hasn't eaten a speedometer cable.
Nice.
So
and it's not making screaming,
nope.
awful squelching
Yeah,
noises.
no undead banshee noises. It reads accurately. The speedometer's smooth. It's not jumpy. Fucking thank God, dude. But when I opened that box, I picked up the box and I hear pieces moving inside. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah,
There are 2
damn.
newspapers. I'm not even joking. Painter's tape and 2 newspapers wrapped around an instrument cluster in an oversized box. Yeah, dude. Good effort, bro.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's it. Let's shut this shit down.
Yeah, let's do it. I've been frozen for way too long.
Yeah.
How sweet would it be if I was just pretending this whole time and somehow I was like ventriloquisting
He hasn't
and
even
like doing the perfect
You
frozen?
haven't even had a blink. This guy, he's a fucking machine.
Exactly. Yeah. True story. One of my friends right out of
Tears.
high school got offered to work for fuckingmachines.com. And instead he decided to go to college. So
You miss
which at the
100%
time
of
they
the
offered him
shots you
huge
don't
money.
take.
And they were like going to give like $80,000 a year, which in like 2002, like
That's
for
solid.
like a fucking like 18-year-old, like 19-year-old was like, dude, how come you're not working for fuckingmachines.com? He's like, man, because I don't want to like, I don't know, forever I don't want to forgo going to college to work at fuckingmachines.com as a photographer.
Dude, I would
like,
do that
okay,
just
fine.
for the resume bump, getting the right fucking machines on your resume.
Yeah, like
Please.
you've got like your regular CV and then you've got like your CVXXX for like, you have that aside for all of your, God damn it. Anyways, goodbye.
Yeah,
Not
let me,
quite.
let me shut it down.
Well,
God
see you
damn
later.
it.
Yeah, tell the good people what the hell we're trying to get out of here. Oh, should we plug
Guys,
our shit? I
Yeah,
don't
we'll
know.
plug it. We'll plug it. We'll do it. Guys, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah.
APA Podcast, another Pointless Automotive Podcast. Continue listening to us. Review the show if you haven't yet. That helps us a lot. We are on YouTube every single episode. Get on there, subscribe, write some silly comments. Watch Frank be frozen for half an episode or
Yeah,
more.
it'd be great.
Or more, actually. We also have a Patreon now. I think we can reveal those details. It's APA Pod is where you can find us on the Patreon. No pressure at all, guys. If you want to
Patreon.com/APA-pod.
shovel a little bit of pocket change our way, we would love that. We love you anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Frank, well, I'll do mine first. Auto Obscure Garage, all your rescues, restorations, and reviews that you want to see. Volvo content, tracker content. Volvo review coming up on this very cool V50 that's running right now. So excited to see that. Frank, where can the folks tune into your world-class photography efforts?
Yeah, so I'm the photographer's garage on any place that you care to visit, and otherwise find me here. Keep on listening. Spread the word. If you want to buy us literal beer money, we would appreciate it. So head over to patreon.com/APA-pod, and you'll be rewarded with more of this nonsense if you sign up, because you get to see and view and participate in our APA Pod Late Night Confidential episodes. So
on those videos, Frank is slightly more animated. It's interesting than he is right now.
Yeah, well, that, and it also happens when you drink really, really, really bad alcohol. I cannot wait for the next mess that we're going to get into. And what terrible experience we're going to have while drinking. And you can experience that if you go there. Otherwise, keep finding us here. We love that too. And we will see you on the next one.
Take care, guys. As always, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.